mostly I have a healthy relationship with myself. Okay, I'm kidding.
Which is a good
but
thing.
I cry. I cry to cope.
That's healthy. Crying is healthy. I don't cry.
We'll talk about that in a bit, because today we are talking about coping mechanisms. Hello. I know that people say we don't greet, so hi, hey, but seriously, we mean it.
This could be one of the coping mechanisms that people cope with. Unhealthy coping mechanisms.
Let's talk about these coping mechanisms. So when COVID shook us all out, things started slowing down a bit on the work front, on my end. And I could sense that I wanted to do something. I didn't want to just sit idle. And while I love reading, I then decided to read regularly. So I'd set a target of finishing a book or reading 50 pages a day, because if I wake up in the morning and I've got nothing to do,
you get anxious.
Yes, that's idle time, and I might just find myself thinking about things that I don't want to think about. Number one. Number two,
especially
getting agitated.
During this pandemic.
Exactly. So it just got me thinking, what are some of our healthy and unhealthy coping mechanisms which we've gotten ourselves used to? And sometimes you want to break out of that habit or this thing that keeps you going, or that you're using as a crutch, but you still want to separate yourself from.
I'm trying to find what some of my coping mechanisms are. I can't figure out which one I have that is like healthy. I run away. That's my coping mechanism.
That's your brand.
It's my brand. I run away from anything. I think it helps me. Like running away from any situation or person. It doesn't help. I'm lying.
Let's use examples. Is it a do you have an issue with confrontations?
I have an issue with confrontations, whether they are with me or somebody else. Just confrontations around me.
So you don't want to be
make me uncomfortable.
So
they make me so uncomfortable.
But there are confrontations that are,
and they're not. It's not like people are fighting. It's just that I just don't want to. I tense up inside. I don't know why, but like my whole body literally becomes tense.
Do you know where it comes from?
I don't know. If I could dig deep, I would probably know. I need to think. It comes from somewhere. It really does come from somewhere. But that running away and being away from the situation, by the time I get, like, from running and I move away from the situation, I feel so much better. I'm like, those who are left there will deal with it. Like, I don't know. I can't. But that's not healthy, right?
Let's take a step back and think about how we go about our daily lives. How often do you say, whoa, I'm not coping? And when you use those words, firstly, are you comfortable with using those words? Secondly, do you truly internalize what you're saying when you say, I'm not coping?
Number one, I feel bad to say I'm not coping.
You feel like you're defeated?
I feel like I'm defeated, but also when I look back and I reflect on the things that I always pray for and the things that I wish for in my life, I'm always like, I want to be in a position where I'm always busy, I'm always doing things. So when I feel like I'm not coping, I feel like I'm not appreciating what's going on in my life. So it makes me feel bad to say that I'm not coping, but usually I get overwhelmed. And when I get overwhelmed, I don't know what to do.
Oh, that's one unhealthy relationship I have.
Yeah.
I go into work mode to cope.
Yeah.
I hate that thing because no one ever got a round of applause for the most exhausted person. I saw something like that the other day.
I was about to say, like, it ties in with burnout culture and the fact that we applaud ourselves, but at the same time, we're this generation that's always looking to get the next thing. And if you're not doing anything, for me, if I'm not doing anything, working, I feel like I could be doing something. even if I'm not physically working, I'm thinking about it.
You're thinking about
So I'm
working.
not always working, but when I'm not working, I'm thinking about it. Sometimes I don't do anything about it, but I'm thinking about it.
Sure.
So I don't know if it's going into work mode for me doesn't sound like a healthy
It's very unhealthy.
coping mechanism.
It's very unhealthy because if you're doing it to cover up issues that you need to deal with, then it's unhealthy because it'll catch up with you.
What are some of the best ways to figure out if your coping mechanism is healthy or unhealthy? Because there's things that we do where you're like, oh, this is healthy. If I'm feeling sad, I just chill around people. But what happens when there's nobody to chill around?
You know why I obsess over breaking habits? It's that very reason. Because I get a sense that when you have a coping mechanism or you use something as a crutch, there comes a point where you can't do without it.
Yes.
That's when I think it's a problem. One example that I usually use is that if I have cold feet and I can tell about, okay, my feet are cold, and every night before I go to bed, I need to
wear socks or
wash my feet, warm water, and then wear socks. So I have a routine. I always imagine what would happen if I would be khombane somewhere okanye ngisedutywa or equnu somewhere nje where for that reason ngalo mean for whatever reason we cannot warm amanzi up. Does that mean andizulala?
So we depend on them.
My worry is dependence. I think that's what creates that unhealthy relationship between what you use to cope and how you should be doing it in a healthy way.
That is so tricky though, because I could start like, I'm gonna make an example. If my coping mechanism is sex, for example, if I don't have anyone to have that with, how do I what am I supposed to be feeling like?
Water, hot water, cold feet situation.
Yeah.
How are you gonna sleep?
How am I gonna sleep? So I might go out there and seek things from people who are not good for me.
Yeah.
Just so that I can cover up the coping mechanism.
Yes, because you can't do without whatever you need to cope.
Oh my goodness.
But also, have you actually uttered the words, I am not coping? Because maybe that's the first step to finding a healthy way of coping.
But I've been for the most part of this year, I've been trying to figure out because I always ask people, I'm like, what's your outlet? Like, what do you do? There's just so many things going on. What do you do to cope? And people have different ways of coping, and I'm like, I don't think I have any.
You do. Then you need to start asking yourself, is it healthy? But I bet you do. There's no way you do. You do.
I'm trying to think of what
everybody does. It's a question of whether you're doing it.
Is it healthy?
Yeah, I think. You said you don't cry.
No.
You journal.
I do, but I journal, but it makes me feel better, but it's not something that I do like all the time. So I think overextending myself. It's overextending myself to cope. Once I do, it makes me. It fills something in me that's. I don't know.
You feel.
I feel like I'm doing something good.
Overextending yourself in what regard? Could it be in
family,
personal relationships?
Relationships. I feel like it makes me feel good.
I wanna save your complex.
But then, I probably do, but I can't keep up. I can't. I have it, but I'm not excelling at it. I'm not doing extremely well. I think that might be it. I don't know.
I also like zoning out of the real world. And
in what ways?
I wanna consume myself with. I wanna keep myself busy. I want to think about something else outside
that doesn't involve you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, even if it's your life story, a fictional character, a something.
I wanted to say maybe watching a series.
Yes.
Could be a coping mechanism.
Yes.
There was a series I was watching recently, and every time I watched it, I felt like, I feel like if looking at those people and looking how they are leading their lives makes me feel like I could do the same in mine. So maybe watching a series does help with me. Walking. I know it's like simple and it's quick, but taking a walk.
Yeah.
So another one is hearing different life experiences.
Yes.
That
Meeting
for me,
meeting new people.
that for me is so, which is why I end up like asking them a lot of questions because it makes me feel like, okay, I'm doing something with my life.
What also helps me is withdrawing from, I don't know, it sounds horrible, but honestly, sometimes I just need to separate myself, isolate myself from people in my life.
Oh, but that's
Time for self, I am big on that.
how big are you withdrawing? How much are you withdrawing?
I need time. I don't know, it depends. It depends on the phase I'm in.
I figured out my other coping mechenism.
Do you disappear? Don't tell me.
Deleting my pictures on social media.
Can we talk about that thing? Why are you changing your profile picture?
Deleting my pictures from Instagram and not having a profile picture.
Take us through that one, please. I beg.
It
everybody.
Makes me feel better. Okay, not having a profile picture, top tie.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah. I've been waiting for this moment.
Every time I
so
try
long.
to have a profile picture, I'm like, no.
Why? What is it helping? How does it help you? What are you feeling? And how does it help?
I'm feeling like, wow, I feel like I'm in control. Nobody can see me. They don't see me. They don't know what kind of mood I'm in. I'm just like this ghost that they speak to, and if you see me, you see me, but I don't have a profile picture. When you go on my social media, I've deleted all my posts.
Why do you do that?
It makes me feel good.
No, I've got so many questions, but the only question that keeps coming out of my mouth is how is it helping?
That? I don't know how it does help. I know that not having a profile picture helps me.
But if you're
it really does. Looking at my profile and seeing that I'm not there.
But you're there. You're there.
Even my display picture on Instagram is not me.
Why would you do that?
It's a cartoon of Nina Simone. So I have like 5 posts. I don't know. It helps me.
How?
The next step would be to delete all my social media, but I can't.
What phase is that? How often do you feel like this?
Not often. I feel like, okay, with the profile picture, it's definitely something that's gonna be there for a long time. With deleting the pictures, I feel like that maybe once in a while.
Okay, are you one of those people who, if you're upset, you wanna take off pictures?
Don't you feel like
take down pictures if they don't exist?
Yeah, there's that as well. But don't you feel like that ties in with my running away?
It does. Now that you mention it,
yeah, it does. It does tie in with that. It just does something.
You know, I used to, I don't know, entertain thoughts of putting up statuses and taking them down, and then I realized this is all too much energy, because number one, if I'm doing it for somebody, wouldn't it be simpler if I just sent them a message and said, I need your attention, or I just say, I'm not okay. So why
to
do
the
I wanna,
person?
yes, why
that's
do I
upsetting you.
Yes, why should I be sending mixed signals? And my thing was, I don't even know if he's getting these messages or she's getting these messages, so why don't I just be direct?
I don't do that.
Why don't you want to be direct?
I don't do that. I don't post messages. That people will see. I don't say anything. For me, my silence will guide you. You will know what it means. I'm just assuming that people will think that my silence, I'll just keep quiet, which is also my brand. I'll just keep quiet and hope that people figure out that they've done something wrong. In most cases, they have figured it out. And then they either apologize or we find a workable solution.
Okay, when do you bring back a profile picture then?
I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. When I get married, maybe.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I should challenge myself to have a profile picture.
When it comes to the profile picture thing, I think a lot of people relate to it because I've got people in my contact list on WhatsApp who don't have profile pictures.
Yeah, and I can assure you it makes them feel better. I know it used to make me feel better at the time when I was foolish writing paragraphs that people aren't gonna read. I've stopped though, although I feel like it was the perfect way to tell people how you're feeling.
Yes.
It was the perfect way to communicate and cope with the whole situation. Because now if you're gonna hold everything back, it's like, what are we doing?
Yep.
So now I just, not now, but after the whole paragraph phase, I then started when something happened, I would like write lol on my status. If I write lol on my status, I took it from her. If I write lol on my status, just know that there's something.
And it's not funny.
It's not funny. I'm laughing at how unfunny it is. Like, I just want to be like, why are you doing that? Yeah, so that's also another coping mechanism that is not that healthy.
I just had one. Ugh, what did I want to say? It's the lol that threw me off. Why did you want to just write lol? I wanted to say something. You said something that's very important, but I just
What should I say before the lol? That they feel better?
It makes you feel better.
Yeah.
But
it's unhealthy.
I completely forgot what I wanted to say.
But I can't even say that it's unhealthy. I don't think it's unhealthy.
What, the writing paragraphs?
Both. The writing paragraphs and the profile picture.
Oh, I remember. In relation to writing paragraphs, that's another thing for me. I don't know if it's... I don't always get it right.
Yeah.
But I try to confront things as they happen. So if something happens between us, or I don't appreciate a tone that you've used with me,
you want to say it
I want to address it in that moment so that
you don't carry it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that helps me cope a lot, especially with, we deal with people every day and we all interpret things differently.
Yeah.
So I can't assume that you will get that you
don't want to leave it hanging.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I will tell you how I feel. And I don't have to be rude about it.
Yes.
But rest assured, I will tell you how I feel. And I try to do it immediately in that moment. But another thing that's really helped me in my adult years is not jumping to conclusions. Automatically always assuming that somebody's out to get you.
Yeah.
In my head.
That's dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
That's dangerous.
And you don't give people a chance to even explain why they did things the way they did. So every time, if I call you and you don't pick up, I start drawing scenarios in my head. Okay, maybe her phone is in her bag. She's walking. What time is it? Is it lunchtime? She's in a meeting.
Yeah.
Before I get to, she's ignoring me. I don't immediately jump to, she's ignoring me. Okay, clearly she's ignoring me. No.
I immediately jump to, she's ignoring me.
Really?
Yeah. Depending on the mood, obviously, and the space that we're in. But like, I jump to what could go wrong more than thinking rationally about things.
No, I think that for me really helped me in my relationships, in that I don't want you to guess.
I like that. I admire that because you always know where you stand with people from your perspective, obviously not from theirs, but you always know that I've addressed this. I know that this is, with me, I'm clear. So with us people that don't speak, it's like, people will never know. They will assume that we're good, and that time it's like, we're not good.
Yeah. One example, this one time my friend, what was I was telling her something that's big. So we share things.
Yeah.
And so I sent her a voice note.
Yeah.
Were we texting? I can't remember. This was back in 2017 or something. So she responds and she's like, oh, that's fantastic. And there's no emoji. There is just, hey, that's fantastic.
I get it though.
So I try to process it and I'm like, okay, yeah.
She's busy.
But I'm like, no, this is not how she texts also. So I sit and I'm like, should I tell her? Should I not? I immediately sent her a voice note and I'm like, wait. I feel like that was a little cold.
Yeah.
What's going on? And then when she responded, she said, no, I just left the garage. Actually, I was just about to drive out when you sent the message. So I thought, I don't want to leave you hanging. TK, because this is an important thing that you're sharing.
But what if she's saying, oh, that's fantastic?
That's exactly what she meant.
Because the text, it's like, you never know how somebody's feeling. I could say, OMG, and I could be like, OMG. You know, you never know how people are feeling. But with that, I do that sometimes where I text and you don't process it sometimes because you're busy. But you're happy for the person. Like somebody tells you, I'm getting married. You're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Then somebody's going to be like, huh?
Oh my gosh.
That's a bit cool. Awesome. Yeah, like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yes. Because you never know how people are feeling on text.
Yes.
Okay, I get that. I get that. I've experienced it. I've done it to people as well, where I send a text and when I read it, I'm like, maybe I should have been more upbeat over text. But in reality, I'm extremely happy. Like I am.
Can you
so
add
happy.
a young emoji, Yana, for me, please?
Oh yeah, add an emoji.
Or no. Let me rephrase that one. Can you stick to your texting style? There's people that I know rarely ever use emojis. Okay. And when they send me, oh my word, that's fantastic, I read it, oh my word, that's fantastic.
Because you know
that's how they talk.
Yeah.
If you use emojis and then I tell you something big and then
like,
you just
that's
decide
fantastic.
it's fantastic and you don't put in a young dancing.
Do you confront the situation?
I do. I'll ask them, wait, are you okay? Is this the right time? Do you want to talk later? Can you talk? What's going on? And also I try to ask a question without saying, hi boo.
I always prefer the can you talk before the whole thing. Because you never know what space somebody... We can't assume that people are good and they're going to be automatically happy. I read somewhere where somebody was like, if you are going to be like... If you know your friend is in a bad space and you're constantly telling her good news about your life, what do you expect from that person? What reaction do you expect?
Yo, that one is tricky.
It's tricky, right?
That one is so tricky because I'm the person who... I get it. I do it.
Genuinely.
But at the same time, I want to know. I don't like it when somebody feels like they need to hide around me because I'm sad.
Me too. I actually enjoy it when I'm in a bad space and people around me are flourishing.
Okay, wait.
No,
let's think about that.
Okay, I said that in the wrong way.
But I get you.
If I'm in a bad space and the people around me are flourishing, I don't want them to feel like they have to hide their good news from me. Yes. So I want to be able to celebrate with them and without centering myself.
Let's talk about the realities of that scenario though. Yeah. Sometimes, genuinely, from the depths of your soul, you are happy for them.
Yes.
Other times, you're so depleted emotionally that even if you happy for them, you can't act as your usual self. Yeah. So there is always going to be an element of tiptoeing around you.
And with those situations, if it's not just the two of you guys sharing the news, there's people around. It's almost as if they're looking for your reaction.
Yeah, to see how she...
And then it's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to jump up and down.
But I don't have the energy.
Yeah.
Nothing phases me right now.
And I'm not jealous. I'm happy.
Oh, good Lord.
Because it translates to you being jealous or envious, right?
True.
Yeah.
But sometimes people are just going through stuff and they can't cope.
True.
They're not coping.
Oh, yeah.
And your good news
trigger them, don't they?
Sometimes. Because there's that thing where, okay, trigger, yes, that's true, but also it just caught me at a bad time. Today was me at the bottom, at the very, very bottom.
I don't know, but
and it just so happens that, no, but I can't, then I won't put emojis. I genuinely am happy for you, but I'm
not gonna be jumping up and down.
And I'm gonna sound cold.
That doesn't happen to me.
That's really good.
For me, that makes me feel happy. I don't know, I'm not trying to be like, yeah.
I get you.
If I'm in a bad space and somebody tells me something really great, it lifts me, like,
good
all
news.
is not bad in the world.
I get it.
Yeah, like, I feel like that. Unless it's somebody that genuinely just wants to continuously boast to me, knowing what I'm going through, because you can tell the energy.
True.
Yeah. True. So if it's somebody who's just genuinely saying, oh my gosh, this just happened, I won in this, and I'm like, dang, that is amazing. I really am happy about that.
I get it.
So it could be like me coping in that situation. You know, I'm in a bad situation, but that helps me cope, and knowing that it's not all bad and gloomy.
I like that.
Yeah.
So feeding off energies as well.
Feeding off energies.
You want your tribe to win. So when your tribe wins, it's your win too.
Yes.
I don't know. I just feel like sometimes.
But I also get your perspective.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
I think other times I relate to, I don't know. There's no perfect way of doing it. I want you to tell me about what's happening in your life.
Yeah.
I also want to shield you from my sadness.
Yeah.
Which is not fair, because I expect you to come as you are. But somehow when it's my turn to lay my heart bare, I feel like I'm gonna dampen the mood.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. At the same time, what you're saying, I will genuinely be happy for you. I will express my joy. But I can't guarantee
depleted.
I can't guarantee that it will be the same energy that I always give.
Which if the person is a really close person in your life, they're supposed to get that. Especially if you're going through something, they're supposed to know, okay, you know.
Yeah, but also we need to. I am very conscious of not having that main character syndrome. And I try to make sure that it's not about me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that's what your situation really, you will really ever find yourself in that, because you're able to, you find joy in hearing good news.
I really do. There's something about it. I don't know. It does something to me. I really enjoy hearing good news about people. I really do. Like, as long as they do it genuinely. I really don't want people to be weird about stuff. Like you telling me so that I feel bad about my situation. I can tell when it's that. I can definitely tell. So in most cases with the people in my life, I've always known that it's genuine, and I cope from that. That's how I cope. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like that. Don't you feel like, is the what? I don't know, I think I'm digressing, but I wanted to ask if the energy you give, do you receive the same energy you give? So is it reciprocated?
That's a good question. The people that are like my close friends, and I think so.
Okay.
They're supportive in the things that I do. I think so. I think I do get the same energy from certain friends and family. I do. I feel it when it's genuine. I do. And when things are not going well, I feel the sadness from their end.
Let's talk to the people about that downhill. I know I mentioned earlier that reading for me really took me out of it. It really helped me cope. I would be so excited about finishing a book. I would set goals that I know I can achieve. I think that's one thing I really want to highlight, that start small with the little things that you know you can achieve, because that win will give you that push to do more.
Yes.
And you won't sit and feel sorry for yourself. Because if you're used to waking up every day and having a routine, and we know that unemployment has become such a hectic reality,
hectic.
And
really
you're probably
hectic.
still trying to adjust, there's retrenchments to deal with, there's stuff that just caught you off guard. And now you have all this time on your hands, and it feels like you're wasting your life.
The worst feeling ever.
Yeah, that for me was, okay, what do I do now? And I realized I'm not in a good space to come up with a solid plan. So what do I do to get to a place where I'm in the right, there's fertile ground? How do I create fertile ground? So I decided, okay, I'm going to try kill that time that makes me sit and think. And then that's when I picked up a book. And then there was more.
That's beautiful.
And so, and also not just reading it for the sake of it, trying to also engage my own brain.
Get into the world of the book. That's beautiful, because that rock bottom is it's crippling. I wanted to also speak about, when you find yourself you try to build habits, you try to find like positive coping mechanisms, and you're like, I'm gonna definitely stop doing certain things, I'm gonna stop going to certain places, and then it happens that you find yourself back in that.
Yes.
Doesn't it cripple you? It's very crippling. Like, and you find yourself in that place, and you're like, is this really me doing this again?
Can I talk to you about that?
Yeah.
That graciousness.
Yeah.
And being, in the past few months, I've had so many people tell me to be gentle with myself.
Yeah.
And I'd hear it, but I don't think I would understand.
Yeah.
Until my friend recently. So I'm a morning person. I love mornings. And as part of that phase of trying to adjust, I decided, let me go into a routine. I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. every morning. I loved it. I was at my
happiest.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But then my schedule changed. And I could see, I'm tired. I know I'd committed to waking up at 4 a.m. But I also needed to listen to my body and do it with that gentleness and graciousness.
Without saying, now you become lazy.
Yeah, and now I'm a failure.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Or promising yourself that I'm not going to be in certain spaces. I'm not going to do certain things. I'm literally going to be a new person. And then finding yourself there is like, what are they going to say now? I've worked so much to get to where I am. But I think we need to be gracious with ourselves. Whatever coping mechanism that we try to come up with, if we find ourselves stumbling and trying to figure it out, we shouldn't completely think, okay, all is forgotten. We can always get into habits of trying to find the best coping mechanism. And even the unhealthy ones, let's not beat ourselves up about it, but let's always try to find something that puts us in the right frame of mind.
I agree with that. At the same time, with the unhealthy ones, the minute you notice that something is unhealthy, seek help. Seek help, because it might
destroy you.
Might be so close to your breaking point, and if you miss that window, it'll be harder to recover. I just think that. So another key thing that you bring up right now is forgiveness. Forgive yourself for going back on what you had initially planned and disappointing yourself, but also give yourself room to make those mistakes and to try again. I think that the one thing that's helped me is setting, I don't know, realistic goals. Because the thing that makes you fail is that thing where you think, yeah, I'm gonna do 2:30 and then not sleep, and then wake up, go to bed at
and then it contributes to your anxiety.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't done it, it's like, oh my gosh, when am I gonna do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I understand that. I agree with that.
Start off with something that you know is realistic.
Realistic.
That you can do, so that you feed off that high of
I've done it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you
agreed.
Improve as you go along. I don't like these. I
going from here to there.
I don't. No.
Yeah, I agree.
It scares me. So do that, but be gentle with yourself and look into those coping mechanisms and see what you need to improve. Also cry, hey? Cry, I highly recommend crying. Yeah. Highly recommend crying. You will release, you will feel better, you will breathe better. I said it.